Did you know that increasing your tomato yield by just 25% could produce an additional 10 to 15 pounds of fruit per plant? With the average tomato plant yielding about 8 to 10 pounds of fruit, mastering a few key techniques can multiply your results dramatically, turning those 5 plants in your garden from basic producers into powerhouse fruit factories that generate an extra 50 to 75 pounds of tomatoes in a single season. Let's explore how to make your tomato plants produce significantly more fruits through scientifically proven methods that any gardener can implement. Number 10. Prune for better growth. Regularly removing unwanted suckers and yellowing leaves strategically redirects energy to fruit production so your plants can focus on what matters most. These unnecessary growths not only compete for nutrients, but also create dense shady areas where diseases thrive. Therefore, pruning creates a healthier environment for robust fruit development and dramatically increases your overall harvest. Number 9. Feed with the right fertilizer. Thoughtfully selecting a low nitrogen, high phosphorus fertilizer powerfully promotes flowering and fruiting, yet many gardeners mistakenly use high nitrogen options that produce lush foliage but disappointing fruit yields. Carefully timed feeding throughout the growing season, especially during the critical fruit development phase, consequently leads to noticeably bigger, juicier, and more abundant tomatoes on every plant. Number 8. Improve pollination. Gently shaking flowering stems on windless days artificially stimulates pollen distribution, and strategically planting pollinator-friendly flowers nearby naturally attracts beneficial insects. However, these simple practices are often overlooked despite their remarkable effectiveness in significantly increasing fruit set, so implementing them consistently will undoubtedly transform your modest harvest into an impressive bounty of perfectly formed tomatoes. Number 7. Water consistently and correctly. Deep, consistent watering thoroughly hydrates the extensive root systems, but irregular irrigation triggers stress responses that cause blossom end rot and stunted growth. Intelligently installing drip systems or applying organic mulch around plants therefore creates ideal moisture conditions, whereas sporadic watering dramatically reduces your potential yield and fruit quality. Number 6. Choose the right tomato variety. Some exceptionally productive indeterminate varieties continuously produce throughout the season, whereas determinate types provide concentrated harvests, then stop growing. Additionally, selecting varieties specifically bred for your local climate conditions ensures optimal performance. So research before planting ultimately determines your maximum possible yield potential from the very beginning. Number 5. Harvest regularly to encourage more fruit. Promptly picking perfectly ripe tomatoes decisively signals the plant to produce more flowers and fruit, whereas neglecting mature tomatoes dramatically reduces overall productivity. Moreover, overripe fruits left hanging heavily on vines not only attract pests, but also divert valuable energy from new fruit development. So establishing a consistent harvesting routine consequently transforms your plants into remarkably efficient production machines that continue bearing abundantly throughout the season. Number 4. Protect from pests and diseases. Vigilantly inspecting plants weekly for early signs of trouble effectively prevents minor issues from becoming devastating problems, and implementing natural pest controls immediately upon detection preserves plant vigor. Furthermore, healthy plants channel energy toward fruit production rather than fighting infections or infestations. Therefore, your preventative care directly translates into substantially higher yields and significantly better fruit quality over the entire growing season. Number 3. Give them plenty of sunlight. Carefully positioning tomato plants in locations receiving at least 6 to 8 hours of direct, unfiltered sunlight daily dramatically increases photosynthesis efficiency, but even partial shade substantially reduces flowering and fruit development. Additionally, proper spacing between plants prevents them from casting shadows on each other, so thoughtful garden planning ultimately determines how effectively your tomatoes convert sunlight into the delicious fruits you crave. Number 2. Use mulch for healthier soil. Generously applying organic mulch around plants remarkably stabilizes soil temperature and consistently maintains ideal moisture levels. Yet this simple practice remains underutilized by many gardeners. Furthermore, quality mulch gradually breaks down to enrich soil structure and fertility, while simultaneously suppressing competitive weeds and reducing soil-borne disease transmission, thus creating an exceptionally supportive environment where tomato roots thrive and productivity soars. Number 1. Support with staking or cages. Securely supporting growing plants with sturdy stakes or properly sized cages dramatically improves air circulation around foliage and developing fruits. But unsupported plants sprawl across the ground where fruits easily rot. Additionally, well-supported plants receive more consistent sunlight exposure and remain considerably easier to maintain and harvest. Therefore, this fundamental practice significantly enhances both quantity and quality of your tomato harvest, while efficiently using limited garden space.